This is not AI, this video is not sponsored, and I bought this shotgun myself. I wanted to put this together because when I was looking for a budget over and under shotgun, there were limited reviews out there. I love geeking out on researching budget-friendly gear, and hopefully this is helpful to at least some of you. All right, it's time to talk about over-under shotguns. I've done a review before on a firearm, and I'm sure most of you know if you've watched that or if you're new. I'm just an avid outdoorsman. I am budget-minded when it comes to what I buy. I'm not a gun collector. I've got a gun for every purpose, whether it be a shotgun, a rifle, self-defense, handguns. I'm not one to, I don't need 10 9mm. I might have one that is smaller for everyday carry and one that is a full frame that's, more fun to shoot, more accurate. For the most part, I'm not just buying guns to buy guns. And then that brings me to this over-under right here. This is it's a CZ Woodcock G2, and it is a Sportsman's warehouse exclusive. I've always been just a pump guy. Just gets the job done, hunting turkeys. I've hunted some pheasants, some grouse. Never really felt the need for something, to get an over-under, because it's like a 12 gauge is a 12 gauge. It can take care of whatever I need it to. What changed my mind a little bit is I went to a sporting clay event, which was a blast. If you haven't done it, I recommend it. It's basically it's like golf, but better. You get to shoot clays. When I signed up for that event, I was looking at it, I'm like, man, a pump, I'm not even that great of a shot to start with, and let alone having to run an action in between clays coming at you from different directions. And so I borrowed a buddy's 12 gauge. It was a Weatherby. I'm not sure the model, but it was a semi-automatic. And I figured, hey, having that semi-auto would be great, squeeze, not having to worry about sliding that pump back and forth. And what happened is it jammed probably a third of the time. And I think what was happening was we were just using, whatever they gave you, which is target loads, not as hot of a load. And first shot every time would be great. Second shot, half the time it would try to eject and just wouldn't fully eject the round. And so I had actually, before the event, I had gone and looked at over-unders, and I decided before it, I was like, hey, this is a great opportunity. I'm gonna go put 100 rounds through the gun. Let's buy this, get a bunch of gun time, and then I'll be proficient and ready for pheasant season and everything else. And well, I live in the glorious state of Washington, and they passed a new law this year that you need to have it's a 10-day basically waiting period for a shotgun. Never in my wildest dreams did I think, hey, I can't go down and get a shotgun, basically just a tube, especially in this case where it's not even semi-auto. There's no, what is there about this gun that we feel like I should have to wait 10 days for, but I digress. That's a whole nother topic. I wound up using that semi-auto. I was not able to get the gun before the shoot. I used the semi-auto, it jammed, and afterwards I hemmed and hawed. I actually ordered the gun. It came in, and I was just frustrated with the process and decided, I don't know that I'm gonna pull the trigger on it. You guys might just have to restock that. And I had so much fun at that shoot though that I decided, I'm gonna start doing this a little more. It was a blast, and I wanted to get into, have an over-under. There's something about them. It's kind of like a lever gun, that break action. There's just something satisfying about having, and in this case we'll talk about it, but it's got ejectors, and just knowing that it's going to go bang bang, not worrying about a cycle, super simple. And also, you think about, I've got 2 young kids, and having a gun that if we're out in the field and if they can, I know that they're safe because they're throwing that over their shoulder and they're walking along, and it's not like a pump or a semi-auto where it's always closed and you just never know what the scenario is on safe or not. So when I was looking at shotguns, I really wanted to go with something that was going to be not break the bank. I mean, if you look out there, it's easy to spend a couple grand on an over-under. And for me, I'm going to do some walking around in the fall, chasing pheasants. I'm going to do some sporting clays. I've already got a turkey gun, so I won't be using it for that. So I really couldn't justify dropping a couple grand on a shotgun that I'm not going to use that much. And yeah, the real fancy ones are super nice and pretty and everything, but it's just not what I needed. So this at Sportsman's warehouse is at $649 is what this is listed for right now as of today. I couldn't be happier with the purchase. I've put a fair number of rounds through this. I've got a buddy actually that let me borrow. He has a CZ, I believe. I'll have to look it up. I'll put that information up. But this is a 28-inch barrel. His is a specific target gun. It is a 30-inch barrel. It's a beautiful gun, and it is more than twice the cost though. This is $650. That shotgun was over $1,400. In the hand, I really liked the other gun, and I could tell it definitely was more weight forward, which I liked, but then I was looking at it and, oh, it's 2 extra inches. So this is a 28-inch barrel, that's a 30-inch, which makes a lot of sense. You got a lot more steel on the front end of that thing. But as far as comparing the two, you know, a $650 gun versus a $1450, we'll say, everything is exactly the same. I mean, the feel of, you know, when you, what I've heard on the less expensive over-unders is when you put them together and you can just feel play. There's no play here. This is solid. It actually was fairly stiff when I put it together, and it's smoothed up over time. I wouldn't say loosened up, it's just become more smooth. You've got safety here, and this has barrel selector. So, you know, you can move it one way or another, depending on if you want top or bottom going first, which is something a lot of the entry-level guns don't have. Another thing is it has ejectors. So most of those at this price point, you know, you can find one probably 100, 150 bucks cheaper, but you're not gonna get ejectors, you're not gonna get barrel selector, and you're not gonna get the feel, the quality of just CZ is known. You know, they're not top of the line, but they get the job done and they're gonna be around a long time. The finish, obviously different wood, different finish on the receiver here. $1,400 gun is prettier. This thing, you know, there's something about, I do like the not fancy finish here. It just, I don't know, I'm kind of more of just, you know, drive a pickup, don't be real fancy. I don't need to be all blinged out. I just need this thing to shoot. It does. One of the other things is there is an extra bead here on the rail of that $1,400 gun. I don't know that I'm a big fan of, there is just a single white. I might change that out. I don't know that I love the white. Every other gun that I've shot, as far as a shotgun goes, I had a like holographic, that's not the word, I don't remember, but basically something that collects some more light and is brighter. I do like having a brighter sight than this white. It sounds like it's pretty easy to switch that out, but overall, I mean, this is an inexpensive over-under. It gets the job done. It just works. Yeah, I just don't know what else to say other than if you, yeah, that's all I got. Get yourself an over-under.